Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM, streaming live on YouTube, or you can listen to us on the go. Download that Mixlr app, listen to Cheap Seats and all Railer basketball games here live on WLCN. We're broadcasting live from the Hampton Inn. Scott Kirby, Jim Ash, Lloyd Kirby, and special co-host J Mac in the house. And no Joe, no Jake, so you know what that means? You know what that means? Great show.
Great show. Best show.
Great show.
It's going to be the best show.
Yeah.
I'm so glad Joe and Jake aren't here for a change.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it mixes it up a little bit. We actually bring some sports knowledge into the into play.
I do wish we were talking to Shaner today.
Yeah.
That would have been nice to get a win.
Shaner had a good run.
They did have a good run.
Just came up a little short, and we're going to blame Joe for that.
100%. He went down and ruined it all.
He went down and ruined it. So Joe is banned.
Good scout, Joe.
Yeah.
Way to give him that scout.
Just got that aura to him that wherever Joe goes.
They're playing DePaul Prep, and that is my cousin's husband's team. So Coal City's going to play DePaul Prep at Coal City to go to state.
Yeah.
We'll see. Joe, I talked to Joe when he was down there. He said Coal City was a bunch of grown men. Just grown man after grown man after grown man. He said they were unbelievably good.
Well, I mean, Dixon, they're a solid football team. One loss going into the game,
right.
And that loss coming to a powerhouse in 3A,
right.
Byron, and just couldn't get it done. But, great season for Shaner. And
he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Taught me everything I know, mostly.
In basketball?
Mostly, yeah. I was his assistant my first year. I was Shaner's assistant.
Yeah. The days.
The most scared I've ever seen a child in my entire coaching career was no, I don't even want to say his name, but we were doing middle skip, and the ball just went through this kid's hands, and it hit Shaner flush in the face. And this is a ball coming from 70 feet away, right through his hands, hit him square in the face. And the kid turned around, and the whole gym was silent. And he just turned around to Shaner, and he goes, "I am so sorry." Like tears in his eyes, and Shaner is just purple. He was so mad. He handled it like a pro. That kid almost wet himself.
Oh, I wish that was on tape.
I was standing right there like, this is going to be epic.
Well, speaking of basketball season, it's here.
It is here.
Boy, I tell you what, I don't want to say it snuck up on us, but it's here quick.
Did.
And the girls already started their season the other night. Yep. We're going to have Coach Rohr in the bottom of the hour, talk with her, and see how things are going. A lot of changes in that girls program.
I can't wait to talk to her and ask questions about everything that's different.
I mean, it's different.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, coming off what they did last year, undefeated
which was incredible.
season, state championship.
A ton of fun to be involved with.
And then
Just watch.
you reset. You got 5 new starters out there, and they contributed last year,
right?
But not in the role that they're going to be in this year. And then we'll talk with her on that.
I can't wait.
How she's changing things up and expectations.
Totally changed.
We'll talk a little bit about last year because the last time we talked to her is right after, the championship, and we'll see how that all sunk in and how they felt about it. Obviously felt pretty darn good about it.
How do you move on from it, right?
Well, you reset.
Eventually you have to.
You got to. Can't stick around forever.
I'd probably just retire. I'd never. I couldn't move on. Yeah, I'd be wearing the shirt right now. I'd carry it with me.
Yeah. Have that trophy.
I wouldn't
right
move on.
You.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
But.
Well, boys basketball, we're off and running. First game Monday night. Catch all the action here on WLCN 96.3 FM.
Can't wait.
Unfortunately, Neil couldn't join us this morning to talk about the upcoming season, but you've been around the program, and we got some returning players from last year that are going to contribute. How are you projecting this season?
I think that teams are going to zone us. I think that Greg and Coach Bird and Coach Ewald, thank goodness we have Coach E.
Absolutely.
We're so excited to have him back. Greg works so hard, and Coach Al works so hard, and Coach Bird, but for those guys to not have Coach E and Coach Rademacher too, I'm not selling him short at all. Coach Gary pulled like double duty last year. But E is irreplaceable. Mm-hmm. Coach E is and now he's back, and he's out there. He was out there this morning. We had the freshmen were in at 6:15, ready to go this morning, and you could hear E in the gym when he got in there, and he's doing the same things, and it's huge for us. So Meet the Railers was great. I thought everybody looked awesome. But practice today, just the energy in practice, it's phenomenal. They put in a bunch of new stuff, and the kids really have taken to it. They look fantastic. I think obviously it's the same questions, are we going to be able to score? Are we going to be able to do this and that? And I think the answer is yes. And I think that by the middle of the season, when we really get comfortable with all the new stuff we're doing, I think teams won't be able to stop us, and they're going to have to zone us. And then we'll see, and
if we can hit some outside shots.
We got to hit a few outside shots, yeah.
Well, we got Komnick returning, a good shooter. Hayes down low. I see him having a huge
Frank.
year. Me and Jim talked a little bit before everybody got here. It seemed like Drew struggled a little bit last year.
Right.
I think he tried to do a little too much, and and just kind of, I think it just got in his head because we know he's a phenomenal basketball player, and I can see him having a huge year this year.
Kids feel it too. When you're stuck at 18 points. In at the half or something, kids feel it too. Yeah. They know we got to put the ball in the hole.
Right.
And guys get anxious, and especially a leader. Drew's always been a leader. He's just a natural born leader. You know what I mean? And this year, everybody's really stepping up. Drew's no different. He's a leader for us. Frank's a leader,
Frank, Big Frank, going to control the middle. Then we got, like I said, Komnick, and we got Gabe Smith.
Miller, Blake, Tungate. We got guys that can put the ball in the hole, and they can play defense too, and they can run, and we can shoot a little bit, and we can rebound and defend. It's those coaches, Coach Al and E and Coach Greg and Bird and Gary. Man, they've done an awesome job, and those kids buy in. They're going 100 miles an hour in practice. They look great.
Well, that's good because that's a question I get quite often starting about October. How are we going to be this year?
Yeah.
I just tell them I don't really know.
Right.
Nobody really knows until you get out there.
Until you get out there, right.
I tell them with the returning kids that we have, we'll be solid. We're solid every year.
Solid every year.
You're going to get 20, 25 wins.
Right.
But
our kids they're not afraid of the moment. None of them are. We look at all the veterans we got. These are veteran guys.
Well, and these guys you guys are preparing them as freshmen and JV, so it's the same system.
Right.
So they're comfortable with it, and then they're going to mature, get bigger, get stronger, and their confidence is going to get higher. And it's just like any other sport in high school.
Right.
You got seniors that are going to graduate. Well, it's next guy up. And that's exactly what we have this year. But fortunate for us, we've got some guys coming back that contributed a lot last year.
Oh, man. Yeah, what a luxury that is.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of, these are grown-ups compared to, where we were. Our freshmen, the last two practices, because of the girls' JV tournament, our, varsity JV's on this side of the court, and our freshmen are on this side of the court, and you can just feel the energy, especially in the morning. I make a big point. I don't know if you got this, but I'm a little loud.
I never knew that about you.
Neil hates it. Coach Al hates it. He's on the other side like, would you just shut up? But I'm loud. We're loud. We just get talking. We get screaming early in the morning. Kids start flying around. And then the varsity, they're loud. Their energy's high. And then our freshmen feel it. And it just keeps amping up to by the time we're all going full throttle, it's intense. These practices have been great. They're so intense. And our freshmen have been outstanding. This
good freshman group.
Yeah, and we know, we've watched the 6th grade and the 7th grade and now the 8th grade. We know what we have coming up, and every year somebody surprises us. You know what I mean? It's been, man, we've had guys surprise us every year, which is great. But boy, we're pretty good.
Well, that's
it's kind of nice.
Nice to hear.
Kind of nice, yeah.
And I'm sure Coach Auer appreciates it, because, like I said, it all starts at freshman, that's where they it's a big jump from 8th grade to freshman. Huge jump, and the expectations are higher. You're going to be running a little something different, It's not junior high basketball anymore. It's
right.
It's dedication. It's you got to put all into it, and you can't go halfway.
That's a really good point. I was just talking to somebody, we live in Mason City. And I was just talking to somebody in Mason City about that. And, we're 19 miles away.
How much longer are you living in Mason City?
We're looking.
We got to get this young man over here in some red and green.
Yeah, we're going to the WLB game after this. We like to watch those guys play. And we've watched everybody else play. And we are looking. So we'll see.
What's Grady think about that? He's ready to come to Lincoln?
We looked at one, though, and he just slammed the door on the idea. He said, this is not it. This is so. But we were talking, this is 20 miles away. Like we have the same kids. There's the same kid, Delavan, Mason City, Greenview. These are all the same. Hartsburg, Emden. It's all the same kids. Like there's no special elixir. You know what I mean? All this is exactly what you just said. This is Coach Al's priority. And it has been for how many decades? And this is Coach Greg's priority, and this is Bird's and Gary and E and myself and Coach Dom. This is our priority, and it's because Coach Al makes it his priority. And it's 10 months a year, the 2 months when we're not allowed to talk to him, or 11. And the other months, this is what we're talking about. This is what he's doing. Coach Al is reminding us, hey, we got this. Make sure they know about this. We're going to this summer. We're going to go do this. Make sure they're signed up for this. It's 10 months out of the year because that texting finger.
He texts you back?
No, he doesn't know. He just texts me what I'm supposed to do, and then I'll ask him a question.
Okay.
And then it's basically, figure it out, dummy.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And we get that. So I hope Coach is doing well down in Nokomis. Mm-hmm. Steve Kimbrough passed.
Yeah.
Legendary coach.
Legendary
one
Nokomis,
of Coach's best friends. So.
Yeah, they played together, grew up together. And
1,800, almost 1,800 wins between them, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we tried to kind of figure out?
Our math is bad.
Math is
horrible.
Yeah. Lloyd, we asked you to do that math, and he just left us dummies out on a limb.
And he's a math teacher.
I know. And he's good at math.
Yeah, and apparently not.
It's this thing he likes.
Yeah.
He likes to expose us.
Easy A.
But 838 wins for Steve Kimbrough. That's incredible. Mm-hmm. That's incredible.
And a small school in Nokomis.
In Nokomis, right?
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment.
It's incredible. Does Witt goes there too, right? Or do they go?
I don't. You got Witt. You got Irving.
Yeah.
I don't know if they go to Hillsboro or.
I don't either. Either way, Nokomis 838. That's incredible.
Witt. There's like 10 people that live there.
Right. Yeah. Mikey Havera, my good buddy Mikey Havera, he's in Taylorville now, but he went up. He was an all-time leading scorer forever. And that's just, man, what a program down there. What a program. So hope Coach is doing all right. Hope all those folks down there are good folks. So
yeah, I'm sure it'd be a huge turnout.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So
yeah. Wow.
Prayers go to them and their family. A good man.
Yeah,
and great basketball coach.
Treated us like gold when we went down there for that game. We were just talking about that game.
Yeah.
When they brought those, Lauren Wallace and Kim, they treated us awesome. Yeah. They were so cool to us and our kids, and they were cheering for Jermaine while we were beating them by 30. Will Ewald had an unbelievable game that game. That's what I remember, taking that away, and them cheering for Jermaine to dunk it on their own guys. Yeah, that's all I remember. And then just Coach Kimbrough being like the nicest person to all of us. You know what I mean? Like, that guy could have been like.
That was a good atmosphere.
That was fun. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Couldn't find a parking spot, let alone a seat.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Good time. Well, let's take a commercial break. We come back. We'll have more here on the Cheap Seats with J Mac after these messages. So stay tuned.
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Are you sick and tired of the telephone calls, text messages, and ads in the mail for Medicare Open Enrollment? Medicare Open Enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th. Changes made during this time will go into effect January 1, 2025. Feel free to call me, local Medicare agent Dara Entwistle, and set an appointment to go over 2025 changes and plans. My office is in downtown Lincoln, or I can meet with you at your home if you like. Again, call me, Dara Entwistle, your local Medicare agent and your friend in health insurance, 217-651-8046.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
This is Lauren Wallace, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Scott on 96.3 FM.
And J-Mac.
Wrong poll. Sorry about that. Swallowed.
Welcome back to the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM, broadcasting live from the Hampton Inn. Scott Kirby alongside J-Mac. Taylor Rohr going to come in, Coach Rohr, at bottom of the hour, 9:30. We're going to talk Lady Raider basketball and see how things are going in this early part of the season, just getting going. They got one game under the belt. Unfortunately,
and then a huge break.
Yeah.
One game and then like 10, wasn't it like a 10-day break or something like that?
Yeah. I mean that's
Christmas.
I mean, it's kind of like, baseball. You play a game and then you're off. You kind of reset and kind of work on some things that you see that you need to work on after that first game. But, they fell a little short the other night. I think they lost by 2. 44-22, I think, was the final. But
it was an exciting last minute and a half.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Coach Rohr, see how things are going. But let's transition over to some NCAA football. I know you're big on the Irish today as they're taking on Army.
Shamrock Series.
Yeah,
let's go.
Notre Dame ranked.
They were 8. I saw 6 in one and 8 in the other, but really it's 8. So it's 8 versus 18.
Yeah.
That loss to Northern, it still kills me.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, you're talking top 3 team right now if that doesn't happen. But
100%. And maybe even then it's...
And some other teams lose, too. And, it just kind of all evens out at the end of the season.
I don't know.
I wasn't going to say
Northern, man. You know what I mean? We willfully didn't go. My dad and I went to Marshall. So it was Marcus Free. We go quite a bit. We try to. And that Marshall game on Marcus Freeman's home opener, his first one, I said, Dad, let's go. New coaches, home opener. It's going to be, they'll give out a bunch of free stuff, and it'll be fun. We'll go. And it's Marshall to kick the crap out of him. We'll leave, and middle of the way through the third, and we can make our way home. He said, okay, it sounds good. So we roll up there. It's the worst football game experience of my entire life. It was horrible. The whole time, it seemed like 20,000 people in our section were just screaming the whole time. It was awful. So they lose that. And then, so we had several sets of tickets, and we were like, well, should we go to Northern? And out of my mouth, I was like, I'm not going to that stupid Northern game. They'll probably lose like Marshall. And everybody laughed. And we thought it was so funny. And then they lost, and it was horrible. I wanted to jump off a bridge. Terrible.
Yeah, I was
terrible.
Yeah.
No,
horrible.
You didn't feel bad at all. I got texts from all you. I still got those texts. I know what those texts said.
Well, it was kind of just it was a try to pull you back from the ledge text.
Yours was, and Joe's was, Jake Johnstone is dead to me.
Yeah.
No, I still have them. They're on my wall. He's on a list. Yeah, ever you did. I appreciate that. Don't jump.
I know how it feels when your team loses and you're all in, and that's just my life story.
Well, look at Illinois. Look at Illinois. Illinois, they're going to end with Northwestern, right? So they're going to end like, you hope they win today against Rutgers, 9-3. Which for Illinois, that's a great season. But they don't drop that loss to Minnesota, which they shouldn't have. Minnesota's a good team, don't get me wrong, but you take care of business at home. Illinois is 10-2. And their one loss in Penn State by 7.
Penn State.
And then Oregon, that never happened. That never happened.
It's Oregon.
Oregon was unbelievable. You know what I mean? So your loss at that point was to number 3 Penn State by a touchdown.
Yeah.
At Happy Valley, where you didn't really play that well.
With a chance to,
to tie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get it. And then, again, Oregon, we will not talk about that. But it was unbelievable. And then, so you don't lose to Minnesota 10-2, and those are your losses. Holy smokes, that's a season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hopefully they take care of business against Rutgers and Northwestern. I haven't seen any projections of where they're thinking they're going to go, but that'll be nice. That'll be another.
Yeah, they'll get a good.
Yeah,
they'll get a good bowl spot.
Absolutely, 9-3.
I mean, there's only 200 of them.
There's 294 bowls. I'm going to one. They're going to put me in one.
The J-Mac Bowl.
The Tostitos sugar-free diabetic coma bowl or something like that, ketoacidosis bowl, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, they're all watered down and they stink, but it's still something to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm happy for Illinois, but I want Notre Dame in that playoff. Let's get that playoff. I've seen 2 projections. One was Alabama at Notre Dame in the snow. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievable. And then the other one was Penn State. Is the 2 that I've seen that were, I don't know, who knows? It's going to change 100 times. So.
Well, there's a game today, Indiana, Ohio State.
Ohio State is going to embarrass them.
You think so?
Yes, Indiana should forfeit. They should call in and say they all have diarrhea, and I'm sorry, but we have to go home.
Well, your doppelganger is the head coach for Ohio State.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. He's the skinny version of me.
Well, yeah.
You got to be kidding me. It's a
little better facial hair, but other than that, you guys look alike.
100% alike. They're going to get beat so bad that they're going to drop out of any contention. It's going to be embarrassing. Indiana is not the real deal. They haven't played anybody that's good. No one. And Ohio State, I mean, they're not that great, but they're a lot better than Indiana.
All right.
I really like that Indiana coach, though. I like that dude. Like, Google me, man. I'm good at what I do. I cannot see this being – I think the spread is 13.5, but –
it's going to go higher?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I think Ohio State's going to come in with a chip on the shoulder.
Might have to look into that one.
Are you going to?
If you're telling me.
Well, I'm basically there's a no loss. You can't lose when I tell you.
Okay, well.
There's no way.
I'm going to start calling you every Sunday morning then because,
NFL's been crazy.
Yeah.
NFL's been crazy. The Bears.
Nah, don't even say
Have you seen the Bears schedule?
Yes, I've seen it. I've lived it.
Have you seen the Bears' remaining schedule? They have to play the Lions and Vikings 38 more times, like in back-to-back weeks. And then the only shot I think they have of a win is Seattle, like the second to last, and they're not going to win that. They could literally go over. They're so bad. I apologize.
All right, we're going to break, and when we come back,
Coach Rohr.
Yeah, okay. we need a switch in topics. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3.
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Are you sick and tired of the telephone calls, text messages, and ads in the mail for Medicare open enrollment? Medicare open enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th. Changes made during this time will go into effect January 1, 2025. Feel free to call me, local Medicare agent Darrett Entwistle, and set an appointment to go over 2025 changes and plans. My office is in downtown Lincoln, or I can meet with you at your home if you like. Again, call me, Darrett Entwistle, your local Medicare agent and your friend in health insurance, 217-651-8046.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
This is Piper Whiteman from the 2024 Lady Railers State Champion Basketball Team, and you're listening to Cheap Seats on WLCN.
Hey, we'll talk about her.
Okay.
She looked good.
She's awesome.
Welcome back to the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM. Joining us now is Coach Rohr. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us today. Boy, basketball season's here.
It is fast.
Yeah. But before we get to this season, and we got to talk a little bit about last season. You know, last time we talked to you was right after the championship. Had some time to kind of soak it in, reflect about the season. Obviously, a great season. You're really pleased with what happened. But once it all settled down and you're sitting at home with nothing to do,
right?
how are you feeling? And just kind of reflect on last season.
I mean, last season was a dream come true. It was a lot of fun, and I mean, there are no words to describe, what we did. We reached the top, the top of the mountain. I think that for me, reflecting on last season, I'm just so grateful for the kids, and the state title is, something I've dreamed about my whole life, and so few people get to have that, and I'm just so happy that we were able to bring that to Lincoln, and that my girls got to experience it, and I don't know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and people are like, oh, do you miss the girls? And I do. Of course I miss them as players, but I miss them as people. I miss the relationships we had. Yeah. So, but, now we're focusing on this year. Right. So, yeah.
J-Mac said he would have just retired on top, been done with it, and would have wore the shirt everywhere he went.
Would have carried the trophy with me.
The trophy would have been by his side. He would have slept with it.
I'd have been like, I'd have went to restaurants. I'm like, sure, that's not free. State title.
I don't know. I think once you reach the top, you want to reach it again.
Yeah. Well, how long did you give yourself before you said, all right, that's done? Now we got to move on. We got to go this year. A week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 days after. You know what I mean?
I think
at some
it's fast.
point. Yeah, right?
I mean, you already know. You're okay. You won it. You enjoyed it. You celebrated it. How are we going to win next year?
Right.
What are we going to do next year? Where's the rotation now? What offense are we going to run? Are we keeping things the same? Or are we changing things up?
When did Corey and you have that first conversation? Was it the bus ride home? You're like, hey, what are we going to do next year?
It was before we won the state title. It was in December of last year.
Yeah.
So, and I mean that you're just always thinking ahead. You're focusing on each game, but then you're also focusing on the future. What's coming? What do we need to be prepared for? How are we going to prepare? And how are we going to get our girls ready, because they want to make another run. These girls want that too.
Right.
And
one especially.
So
it's in a knee brace right now that was rehabbing back.
Yeah.
That's good to see her up and around. Her spirits are great.
She's doing great. Yeah,
Every time I talk to her, smiling.
Oh my God. She's
ready to go.
Absolutely. She's so positive, and
she was down there doing the mic and drill.
Yeah, which I made her stop because she's not supposed to be pivoting. So
did I just bust her out right there?
You did.
No,
good.
Mom and Dad aren't listening.
Yep, I made her stop it. I said, you can't do that. But, she's able to shoot. She's able to run. She's running miles on the treadmill.
Oh, wow.
She's able to jump. So she's able to do a lot of things. Really, right now we're pivoting, the side-to-side movement, the pivot, and that's the ACL. So we're right at that point of how is this next step going to go?
Yeah.
And everything's gone really, really well so far. So we're positive, we're upbeat, and she has done all the things.
Right.
Her and I talk about okay, what is your role on the team right now? Well, your role is to get healthy. Your role is to be a leader for these young kids and to celebrate them, motivate them, help them. If you see something that's going wrong, you coach them. You're our leader, you coach them. But also your role is to get healthy. So you do your rehab, you do your PT, and then your role will change once you're healthy. So her job right now is to get healthy.
I saw her right after surgery at his tournament with the whole family was there, the Whiteman whole family, and she was and they were all, can't wait. But they were doing the same thing that you're doing, like patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah.
And that's so hard when you're cabin fever. You know, I've had knee surgeries and shoulder surgeries and stuff. That's the worst part of being injured. It's not the pain.
Right. No,
it's
she
the
wants
cabin fever.
Yeah, she wants to be out there. She wants to be playing.
Yes.
You know, no player wants to sit on the sidelines.
No,
everybody wants to be playing. You know, as a coach, you want your kids in. As a coach, you hate seeing anybody get injured, especially your own kids.
Right.
You know,
she just happens to have a dad that knows a lot about that too.
She does. You know, I mean, her whole family really.
Right.
But I just think that that's the main thing is, you know, you're looking at a kid who has such a bright future ahead of her, and of course I want her to play this season, but more than that, I want her to have her future. I want her to, you know, be able to play college ball. I want her to have a leg that isn't in pain for her whole life. Right. You know, so yes, of course we want her this season, but if she doesn't get released, if something, you know, doesn't go the way that it is planned to go,
it is what it is.
Then I want her to have a healthy future. Like, when you're a kid, you think of the right now, but the fact of the matter is she's gonna have to walk on these legs for the rest of her life, and so we want her to be pain-free. And that's the goal.
That's awesome. She's, what a great kid.
Yeah, and you know, like you say, you don't want to push it, get her in there too soon, and hurt it again, and then be completely done. So, yeah, it would be tough.
I'm sure Brody's given her some good advice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're coming into the season. You only played one game. Obviously, you got a whole new starting five out there. How has that transition been? And because a lot of these girls, they've got different roles, and they're still learning. They're still gelling. It's only one game. You guys came up a little short, but it's a good learning experience for them. And as for a coach, you've got a long time in between games where you can go back and say, well, this is what we need to work on. Well, we've got several days of practice where we can do that.
Right. And I think that we're lucky to have that practice. We've really and we have this JV tournament right now, so we just have the varsity, and we've really just been able to break things down, like looking at our film and, okay, what things did we not do right? Like, we reached a lot. We went for steals that weren't there. Our cuts were not good. So now we've taken those things, and we're not doing necessarily what we did with last year's group, because these aren't last year's groups. So we're breaking things down, like, okay, these are the things we need to get better. Like, we spent almost all practice a couple days ago, like, working on our cutting, like how to cut, when to cut, where's the defense, how do you cut when the defense is here, how do you cut when the defense is in this position, and I think that those are little things that are going to transfer into our games, and it might not be immediately, you know, those are things we're going to have to continue to do daily, but the girls are absorbing it. They want to learn, they want to get better, and they're capable. It's a talented group, but I just think that, you know, they caught a lot of slack after the last game, and I don't think it was really fair, because you know, we're talking about 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids have never played in a varsity game.
Right.
You know, every team we face this season have had kids that have started varsity for 1 or 2 years already. And this was the first time that they truly played in a varsity game. Yeah, they got 5-6 minutes at the end of every game last year, but those weren't real minutes.
Right, that's not the same.
And we were up 50, so it didn't matter what they did out there. And
well, even if it does matter, you talk about it later. But what's you never see the consequence of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's it's not really that big of a screw up, because it didn't cost us a game, or it didn't cost us a lead.
Right.
It cost us a running clock, but then we got it right back. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, and so I think that, you know, we're talking about kids who are nervous. They're scared. They were playing on their home floor.
You certainly saw that first quarter.
The day of the banner drop. I mean, it was a lot for these young kids. I mean, I think that it's important to remember, too, that they're kids. Like, these are teenage girls. Like, I don't want to make excuses for them, because they want to get better, and we want them to get better. And they'll get into a groove. They'll find the rhythm. But I've been telling everybody that, you know, we're going to have growing pains. And Tuesday was a growing pain night, and I think that, you know, for all of us, for the coaching staff, for the kids, we grew that night. And so I think that as a team, as a program, you look at what you did wrong, you fix it, you move on. The next game, you're going to do more things wrong. You fix it, you move on. You're going to do things right, too, and you celebrate those things. You encourage the kids by the things they did right, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
It always hurts learning basketball IQ, you know what I mean? That idea of like,
right.
It's just like raising a kid or anything else. You're gonna burn your hand on stove before you figure it out.
Right.
Then you move on and you hope.
Well, some of us do.
Some of us.
But yeah, I mean, these girls as JV, I mean, they were successful.
They were.
But there's a pretty big step from, we talked about it, from junior high to freshman, freshman to sophomore, and then, JV to varsity. That's a big jump,
It is a big
and
jump.
these girls are still developing, getting more mature.
Absolutely.
And it's just a matter of time.
Absolutely.
And right now we played one game. Come on. They've got time to figure it out and figuring out their role. That's probably key on the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
And as a coaching staff as well, you guys got to kind of regroup and, we've got to do some things different because last year's team isn't this year's team.
Absolutely, and that's the conversation we had after the first game. We prepared them wrong. We prepared them like we prepared last year's team. We can't do that. We got to prepare them differently. This is not last year's team.
Right.
So, and that's something that, Corey and I have discussed, and we're going to, moving forward, we're going to do things differently, and that's just part of coaching. That's part of knowing
that is coaching.
What kids you have, and we're not going to win every game going forward. We're going to lose some, and that's okay. There's so few teams that go undefeated. I mean,
you had a JV team that went undefeated and varsity. Like, how many teams have ever done that?
To have the expectation of this team or any team, like, we weren't expecting to go undefeated last year. Like, we told the kids straight up at the beginning of the season, you will not be undefeated like you were last year. So, and really, we didn't want to be undefeated. We wanted to lose because you learn in loss. So, it's okay to lose. The question is, do you get better when you lose? Like, do you stick with it? Does it motivate you, or does it knock you down and then you can't get back up? So, there is that fine line. So we're gonna find wins, and we're also gonna find.
You got teams that are.
We have a packed schedule, and
you guys got teams that want to get their comeuppance.
Huge target on our backs for sure.
Now, do you feel like there's maybe some pressure on these girls just to kind of do what they did last year?
I think so.
Because obviously you want to keep going.
I think so.
And I think there's,
And I think some of it's self-inflicted.
Yeah. And that's good.
And it is, but it's got to be healthy pressure.
Yeah.
And I think that some of it, comes from, maybe friends at school or whatever. But, the kids, I just told them, drown out the noise. If it ain't positive, don't listen to it.
Right.
Because we can't let negativity come into our team. We stay positive, and we'll continue to get better, because the goal isn't to be playing great basketball right now. The goal is to play great basketball in February.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want to play our best basketball in February, and that's the goal. So right now, it doesn't matter what happens. What happens is in February when second season starts.
Yeah. And fans have to realize that too, and I hope they're listening right now. These girls are still growing. They're still figuring themselves out, and everybody wants to win, obviously.
Absolutely, and our community is wonderful, and they support these kids,
absolutely.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we're going to lose some, and that's okay.
You have one senior?
I have 3 seniors.
Who are
so
3?
Piper Whiteman, and then McKinley Knapp.
Oh,
and Rebecca Birch.
I thought McKinley was a junior. Okay.
Oh, man, I wish she was a junior.
Yeah, she was last year.
She was last year. I wish she was a senior or a junior. I'd keep her forever.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can. There's ways to do that. You know what I mean? Okay, so 3. I mean, gee, many Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is.
No, it's going to be fun.
Forever.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, you guys will be fine.
It's so much easier to say from my standpoint. You know what I mean? It's like when my dad
it's real fun.
My mom, they'll say something like, "Oh, freshman year, it's going to be fun." That was a fun season. They'll say that to me at the end. I'll just stare at him like, "So we had the same season. What planet were you on?" It's the worst thing I've ever encountered. I was like, "Man, stop being such a. You're so exaggerative." You know what I mean? But in the moment,
right? Because you're so passionate about it. You want your kids to be so successful, and you want them to be their absolute best, and you want them to feel everything. All the greatness, all the success, all the positivity, and when all that isn't happening, it's hard.
Right. And as a coach, you're not only coaching to win basketball games, you're coaching them life lessons.
Absolutely.
You want these ladies to be fine citizens, during high school and whatever they go do afterwards.
Right.
So it's not always about winning. It kind of is, but it's not.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't.
As long as,
they're playing, they're 100% on the court and being fine citizens of, Logan County. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And,
absolutely.
It's Jamie, we know you don't teach life lessons.
It's funny. It's funny. The freshmen, you should have seniors on, and I bet by the time the seniors are done, so freshman year they get it, sophomore, junior, and senior. So we have a big team meeting, and it's always that first Saturday or the second Saturday that we have pictures. So we free throw-thon and this big team meeting and lunch and then pictures. It's a 12-hour. It's brutal. Yeah. It's the worst day of the year. It's so awful. But one of the things right before we eat, Coach Al gives the speech, and it's like a 48 bulletin speech, but he goes through every single one. By the time they're a senior, I guarantee you they can recite it. But the majority of that speech and those bullet points are, how are you handling yourself? What does the community see? Right. You know what I mean? Are you being a representation that we agree with? Is that really who you are?
I think that might have been the same speech he gave me before I entered the family.
Yeah. Were you eating 120 McDonald's double cheeseburgers too?
Maybe 118. Yeah. But yeah, and that's what it's all about.
100%.
Right.
And
I like to tell the kids that they represent our program, but they also represent themselves.
Yeah.
And how do you want to present yourself?
It's important. It matters.
Sure.
Who you are as a person when you're 15 matters just as much when you're 18 or 50. It's that's good. I mean, it's nice that everybody's kind of on that same page in that basketball arena. I'm sure other sports are too, but it's important. It really does matter.
It does.
Scott.
Hey, well.
Shabadoo.
Well, Coach, one game, cleared off table. You got a tough one coming up.
Yes.
Morton, we talked about the tournament was canceled. 3 teams
got
brutal. Out. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It was interesting, and it was like one team dropped, and we were like, all right, we'll just pick up an extra game, and then the second team dropped, and Coach Al's like, I've never had this happen before.
Right.
And I'm like, me neither.
3 teams?
And then there were 3 left. And, the final team, they're about 2 hours away. They didn't want to drive up here for just 2 games, which I would have done it, but, each to their own.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so they dropped, and then it was just us and Morton left.
That's crazy.
So you're going to play 3 times.
So we're going to pretty much.
No.
Well, actually, sort of. So, because we're going to play Morton on Friday. And then we decided we'll do a home and away with them. So we're going to play them away at their place, a week from yesterday. Next Friday. And then and we're going to do JV and varsity, so our JV will get to pick up a game. Mm-hmm. And then in January, we're going to play our home game against them. So a little rematch. And then more than likely, we'll see them in postseason.
Right, you're going to see them in regionals, right?
Right. Regional or sectional.
Sectional, yeah.
So.
Why don't you pick up another one? Just see. You know what I mean? Just like at that time, just use it as a scout. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, and you got a tough schedule ahead.
We do. We have a really tough schedule, and
why not? I mean,
it's going to make us better.
Make you better.
Yeah. Right.
Right. And like you said, you want to be playing your best basketball
in February. Right.
So.
That's awesome.
That is. Well, I can't believe basketball's here already.
I know, me neither.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I have no free weekends from now until.
No, it's over.
April.
Same. Yeah. Well, March.
Life is over.
Mid-March.
Yeah.
Somewhere every weekend. Ew. All right. Got to prepare for that. Well, Coach, thanks for coming in. We appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll see you next several Saturdays till March, February. You'll get sick of seeing us.
Okay.
But, you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it.
Deal with it. All right, let's take a commercial break. We come back, we'll finish it up here on the Cheap Seats.
That's awesome.
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Are you sick and tired of the telephone calls, text messages, and ads in the mail for Medicare Open Enrollment? Medicare Open Enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th. Changes made during this time will go into effect January 1, 2025. Feel free to call me, local Medicare agent Dara Entwistle, and set an appointment to go over 2025 changes and plans. My office is in downtown Lincoln, or I can meet with you at your home if you like. Again, call me, Dara Entwistle, your local Medicare agent and your friend in health insurance, 217-651-8046.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
This is John Flowers, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo on 96.3 FM.
.3 FM. We got J Mac. We got G Mac. That's his new name now. I just branded it.
Yeah,
to him.
Beautiful. Sit up, son. You're a little nervous.
Got G Mac. G Mac, how are things going? You're a big basketball guy, right?
Yeah.
Your dad tells me you've been kind of practicing with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. When your season start yet?
No.
Wait, is he 5th grade?
He's 5th grade, so at Illini Central, he doesn't get to play. So he's up in a league in Bloomington, and then he practices with us. And then Coach Rose, you practice a little bit with his my buddy that's coaching there. So we've started a season. We're in full swing.
You're
like
in your
everybody
own
else.
season, you know?
Right. He's jealous of his buddies. He's got buddies at Carroll. He's got buddies at WLB and CEO, all of his baseball buddies, and they're all playing.
Yeah.
And they're all having a great time at practice.
Well, you just make do with what you have. You keep doing your Bloomington thing, and you know, practice it's not as good as a game, but it still helps you.
You still get yelled at, just like a game.
It's 3-on-3, so it's fun.
Yeah. Does Daddy yell a lot? Yeah. At home?
At Irish.
Yeah, our dog, yeah. We scream at the dog a lot.
How was he at the NIU game? Did you have to kind of soothe him?
He went upstairs, yeah. He was sitting down there. He said, "How is it?" I said, "How's what?" And he goes, "Okay." And then I just heard the door.
Good talk, Dad.
Yeah, I heard the door close. Then I heard him talking to his mom. He's like, "Oh, don't go down there."
Yeah. So you're a big fan of the Cheap Seats. You guys listen almost every Saturday morning.
We do.
Boy, you gotta
find a hobby or something. I mean, you got nothing better to do than listen to some.
You know what it does? And baseball's harder.
It makes you feel good about yourself?
It makes us feel good about ourselves. We get up, and we're on the couch. Same thing. The dog's laying there.
Dad make breakfast? No.
Oh, cereal.
Mom makes that.
Oh, whatever. I'm the cook in the house. So when we get on it, it's something we look forward to every Saturday. You know what I mean? It's just something we can. Beck comes in. She sits down. The dog's there. We all watch Cheap Seats. I love it.
I don't know what you mean because I don't look forward to it every Saturday.
It does when it changes. So when we start having games, then we got to watch it later. But other than that,
during football, basketball, it's good because we don't have to talk a lot. But when we're trying to find out an agenda, it gets tough. But
during the summer, like that baseball,
when there's just nothing going on.
Oh man,
the Cubs stink, the Cardinals stink.
It's the hardest thing on earth to do is to go watch baseball. How are the Phillies to watch? The Cardinals are impossible to find unless you have that Fire Stick that we don't have that. Never mind. And
Not
then the Cubs. You know what I mean? But we have to search through 300 channels to find the Cardinals. Are the Phillies as bad?
No, they've got their own network, so.
But they have their own network too, so you can subscribe like the Marquee.
Well, we've got an app that we use.
Is that what it's called, an app? I also have that app.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a guy. I got a guy. We might have the same guy.
It's a great app. It's a great app.
But you know what I mean? Like, isn't that ridiculous? Like, no longer can you just go to Fox,
right? I mean,
or Fox Sports Midwest and watch the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Or what?
That blows my mind. That big of a market,
right?
You don't have your own.
It's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating.
Well, they had Bally Sports there for a while. I don't know what happened there. And the Cubs went out and got their own network.
Yeah, they got Marquee.
Well, back in the day, it was WGN.
WGN.
Greg with Harry Carey, Steve Stone. It was
awesome. I'm not even a Cubs fan, but that is imprinted in my mind, walking through my grandmother's house, hearing WGN was on at all times because the Cubs game was always on, and you would listen to Harry Carey and Steve Stone. Like it's embedded.
Oh yeah, it was great.
And now none of that. Like you don't get any of that.
No, it's just all. And before you know it, every team's going to have their own.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I think MLB just proposed that.
Did they really?
Yeah, where each team go out and get their own.
I have the Peacock app now and I've had it for like 3 years because Notre Dame.
I got it because of Illinois basketball. Their Thursday night games seem to be on Peacock or whatever.
Every single time.
Yeah.
So it worked out. I mean, it ended up working out. But I was so mad that first year. You order Peacock for one game.
Mm-hmm. Big Ten Network.
And then you went to the Big Ten Network,
Plus,
right?
Which is a rip-off.
I don't know
if you ever watched the game on Big Ten Plus.
Awful. Horrible.
Didn't even get it this year. I just didn't even watch the Illinois game because I wasn't paying for that.
Yeah.
Debacle.
It was awful. Awful. And then the one you would get, you would sign up. There you go.
That must be Jake's mic.
That's Jake's mic. He broke it. So, but you get it for like, again, you would get the free trial.
Yeah.
And you have to pay the one time, and then you try and cancel it because everything. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It is awful. Especially I'm 46. I'm trying to do all that. I just want to be lazy. Turn it on. There it is. And I could shut up.
Back in the day, you had to go up and turn it.
WCIA, when I was growing up in the sticks in San Jose, that was the Flying Illini. Mm-hmm. And we'd get up, we'd turn it on, and I'd get to Channel 3, and that would be the old Champagne. And you could sit and watch every game. And religiously, every single Illinois game was on that. And we would sit in front of there. Nothing else happened during the Illinois game.
Had like 6 channels.
Yep, that was it. That was WEK. That was the other one. And then Fox. And Fox was like the new one.
Yeah.
Like, boy, we are uppity.
Yeah.
We have Fox. And then my friends got cable.
It wasn't even in HD.
No. It's terrible. It's all blurred out.
The kids these days have it made. Their video games, they didn't have back what we had. Atari and
Pong.
Pong was a real genius maker.
I don't even play video games.
That's not true. You play baseball 9 nonstop.
It's not even it's just like a mobile game. It's not.
It's a mobile game.
Oh, so it's
not an actual video controller game on TV.
Is it a game on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a video
I win again.
Yep. Well, guys, it's 10 o'clock. I tell you what, this show goes by pretty quick when actually, stuff to.
I don't know. Does Jake get paid by the word? Is that why he never says it?
Well, that's why he's broke. Good thing he owns a furniture business.
I know. Joe's got mellow cream.
Yeah.
I will say this: we got mellow cream. We got super early. Got mellow cream for the free throw-a-thon. Man,
it was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
And those boys, they destroyed it. That was good.
Mellow cream. We have it every Saturday except when we're here.
No, I know.
It's waffle.
Waffle.
Yeah.
I didn't get a waffle today.
I didn't get
chocolate
anything.
milk. You get anything?
I'm getting chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Get you
better say hi to your mother.
Say hi, Mom, Grandma. Give them a wave.
Grandma, give her a wave.
Hi.
Hi.
G-Mac loves you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Scotty, Jim, Lloyd, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do it again for sure.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, maybe forever.
Forever, yeah. Fire those other two.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cheap Seats WLC.
Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.